President Tinubu pays homage to Alake of Egbaland, assures of positive changes for socio-economic growth of the country.
Nigeria will see positive changes as we move along.
AFDB boss pledges strong support to revamp Nigeria's economy.
To make Nigeria's currency much more competitive in terms of export competitiveness for the things that we produce.
Plus, caring and sharing in the spirit of Eid al-Adha. Details in a bit.
It's a matter of unity. It's a matter of joy, peace, for everyone. And in the spirit of Salah, everybody that has come here will have something to go home with.
Hello and welcome to NTA Network News. We are live in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. I am Jummai Yusuf. Michael Olale joins me from Lagos. Happy Eid al-Kabir to the Muslim Ummah, and thanks for joining us. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.live.ng or any of our social media handles displayed on the screen for updates. Nigerians may continue to look out for more impactful policies and programs from the current administration, as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has expressed readiness to compensate them for the economic hardship experienced in months leading to his election with good governance. The president gave the indication on his visit to the Abuja of Ijebuland. Oba Sikiru Kayode Adetono, State House correspondent Musbaud Wahab reports.
It was their first state visit since inauguration aside his country home. President Bola Tinubu visited the gateway state that apparently opened some ways during his campaigns. And the first host was a fellow during the June 12 pro-democracy struggle days.
Thank you so much for being
a reunion between the president and the Awujale of Ijebuland, fondly called Babana Deko. But more fulfilling is the enthronement and growth of democracy, a doctrine which Nadeko stood for. For the paramount ruler of Ijebuland, the start has been good and an indication of a journey to the promised land.
It's fantastic. All the changes you are bringing to the country, all the steps you are taking, our appointments, our everything, you distributed it fairly.
This is the time, Mr. President, to walk that talk. I'm going to hold you to that thing to continue. We won't bother you, but we'll continue to remind you that you have a lot to do. You've started very, very, very well.
Thank you.
The president recognized that the struggle leading to his election has been tough, citing the new Naira note policy, which brought about socio-economic afflictions, and he would not take that for granted.
So much commitment. Voted at a very crucial time. Your monies were confiscated. The cash swap didn't work. It was that ever since. It's been the spirit that is driving me to serve. I'm honored.
President Tinubu specially recognized the chairperson of one of the telecommunication giants, Globacom, Mike Adenuga. Musbao and Wahab, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says Nigeria will witness positive changes needed for the socio-economic growth of the country, which will propel the nation to greatness. The president was speaking during a private visit to the Alake and paramount ruler of Egbaland, Oba Michael Adedotun Aremu Badegbo, at his Akel Palace in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Yemi Delemo has details.
President Bola Tinubu, who arrived at the Ake Palace of the paramount ruler of Egbaland, Oba Adedotun Aremu Gbadebo, having paid similar private visit to Awujale and paramount ruler of Ijebuland, Oba Sikiru Kayode Adetono, said he was in Ogun State on a thank-you visit to the people for the massive support he received during the February 2023 presidential election. The president expressed his determination to deliver all its electioneering campaign promises and impact on the lives of Nigerians positively.
Nigeria will see positive changes as we move along. Just go through these baby steps of pain. Be ready to listen. Maintain an open door policy so that the economy, prosperity of this country be open up. We appoint every one of you positively.
Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun and the national leader of the APC, Aremo Olusegun Oshoba, while appreciating the president for choosing the state as the first state for a presidential visit, described the president as a man of residence who had begun work on the renewed hope for Nigerians.
You have begun to walk the talk. During campaign, we talked and spoke about the renewed hope. Today, we are all testimonies that indeed there is renewed hope in Nigeria. Mr. President, we are very happy with you. You started very well. By the grace of God, you carry this load well and you learn well. Take us to the next level. Nigeria will be able to stand among the best nations of the world in terms of funding, in terms of justice, in terms of civilization, in everything that is good.
The Alake and paramount ruler of Egbaland, Oba Adedotun Aremu Gbadebo, presented a gift to President Tinubu, who is also the Are Agu of Egbaland. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalimo, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Emir of Lafia, His Royal Highness Sidi Bage Mohammed, is taxing traditional rulers in his domain to always uphold respect for constituted authorities, especially President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The Emir handed down the admonition when the ruling houses of the Lafia Emirate Council paid him Salah homage, as it is customary at the end of Salah celebrations. Aye Najie Auta reports.
Heralded the event of the Eid al-Kabir Salah homage at the Emir of Lafia's palace, where the Emir, His Royal Highness Sidi Bage, addressed his subjects on the need for cooperation with the government of the day, both at national and state levels, to ensure that all their policies and programs come to fruition for the benefit of the people.
Better days are still ahead, but what is needed is for the people to cooperate with the government, maintain peace. Without peace, there will be no progress, there will be no development.
He touched on the need for education, especially for the girl child, and condemning early marriage, which comes with its attendant consequences.
Each year, it forms part of our message to the people. But this time around, we are emphasizing more on girl child education. Because I think we're still lagging behind around here. Relatively there's slight improvement, but we can do even more and do better.
The Emir thanked the subjects for maintaining peace in their various communities. He also installed some traditional titles, including that of a woman, for services to humanity. In Lafia, Ayena J. Auta, NTA News.
Now, the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has a significant opportunity to lead the nation out of its challenges, with the condition that Nigerians continue to pray and support the president, particularly during this season of Eid al-Adha. This perspective was expressed by Muslim faithful in Kaaba as they celebrated this year's Festival of Sacrifice. Correspondent Jonathan Omajali completes the report.
The Feast of Sacrifice honors Ibrahim's willingness to sacrifice his son as an act of obedience to Allah's commandment. Muslim faithful in Kaaba, like their counterparts across the nation, were in celebratory mood as they marked this year's celebration. This year's celebration comes on the heels of changes in government and policies.
We should all unite together. Unless we have a united front, it will be difficult for us to make progress. Let's bury all our differences, come together and take the flag to much greater height by assisting the present president and other governors elected. I think if we assist them, we'll be assisting ourselves, and Nigeria at the end of the day will be better for it, inshallah.
Particularly the President Bola Tinubu, to support him, particularly in the period.
For many, the feast is another reason to be grateful to God for sparing their lives. From Kaba, Jonathan Omajali, NTA News.
It's a festive period for the Muslim Ummah, and Salah is a time to celebrate and be merry. It is usually a special day to spend quality time with family and friends, a time to show gratitude for the gift of life and all the blessings bestowed on humanity. Most importantly, it is a time to strengthen the bonds of friendship across ethnic and religious boundaries. Hadiza Godwin Ebune reports on the significance of Salah celebration with family.
The family of Ajanimat Abdurrahim held host to family and friends as a way of showing love in the spirit of Salah.
I'm really excited over it because I have my friends and family around me today. It's one of the rare occasions that you have your loved ones around you. Some people you don't see them in 1 year, but this day they come around to celebrate with you, and I'm really excited.
It's not everybody gets to celebrate Salah with their families, depending on, being in different parts of the world at different times, like some of my siblings. But at least I'm glad that I'm here with my mom and sisters and family to celebrate the Salah.
We've prayed, and we pray that Allah accepts our ibadah, and now it's time to celebrate and enjoy. So yeah, I feel good. Family time is always good time.
I feel happy and I feel great coming to celebrate the Salah with our family, and I've made it a point of duty to always come around to celebrate Salah with the family.
Yours sincerely and colleagues also partook in the Salah feast. Hadiza Godwin Ebune, NTA News.
Festive periods are usually celebrated with visits to camp of internally displaced persons or orphanages to give them a sense of belonging. In view of this, Rosemary Motling Bilal took a trip to some homes and the IDP camp in Durumi, Abuja, to see if this year's Salah celebration is any different.
The NS Ilu, this Salah has taken it as a point of duty to visit City of Refuge Orphanage Home as a way of showing love and extending hands of friendship to the young ones in the spirit of the season.
When I remember children without parents, and I believe that we are their parents also. Today is actually Muslim celebration, that is Salah. So I decided to come and see them. Actually, I'm not a Muslim, but we are one.
God bless them and guide them and protect them.
Most spirited individuals were on hand to put smiles on the faces of widows and the less privileged.
We are celebrating with our fallen laws who sacrificed their life for our Nigeria. So we just come, then we have to invite their family, then we have to appreciate together, then we have to remember them. It is very important.
This is going to be a great relief for most people, most especially widows and less privileged. So we are very grateful.
However, at the time of my visit to the IDP camp in Durumi 1, it was without the usual festive activities, and visitors were yet to make an entry, leaving the inmates expectant. Rosemary Motling Bilal, NTA News.
Now to an interesting aspect of the Salah celebration, that is, apart from eating the meat of sacrificed animals during Eid al-Kabir, the skin of such animals are also used as charity at mosque and other religious groups for Islamic activities. Abubakar Garba Digi tells us more about the value of this skin in Kebbi State.
Islamic injunctions, the skin of animal sacrifice for Eid al-Kabir, are part and parcel of the sacrifice, and if one tries to use the skin for commercial means outside the condition of the sacrifice, the act is invalid. In Kebbi State, the Jama'atu Izalatul Bid'ah wal Iqamatus Sunnah contributes skin of the sacrificed animals to the headquarters of the group for national Islamic activities of the group. The chairman of the coalition committee explained that the group has been able to carry out mega projects using the collated skin. These include the construction of first-class guest inn, mosque, Islamic clinic, TV and radio stations in Abuja, and the Aslam Global University in Hadejia, Jigawa State, under construction.
Yes, there is no mosque in Abuja apart from the national mosque that is as big as that of Izala, and it's on conclusion, and everything is going on in the mosque now. All the programs, the expected Islamic programs, are going on in the mosque now. And the third one is the Islamic University that's in Hadejia. So all this is part of the contributions used for this the skin that have been collected.
The skin will be collected from 21 local government area of Kebbi State for onward submission to the national headquarters in Abuja, in Birnin Kebbi. Abubakar Garba Digi, NTA News.
Quite interesting there. We'll take a break. More reports when we return. Do stay. Thanks for rejoining us. African Development Bank President Dr. Akinwumi Adesina has pledged the bank's strong support towards revamping Nigeria's economy. Dr. Adesina made the pledge during a meeting with Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the recent New Global Finance Pact Summit held in Paris. Justin Bemunyi reports.
The African Development Bank President Dr. Akinwumi Adesina had a meeting with the Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu during the New Global Finance Pact Summit in Paris. The bank's president was impressed by the Nigerian leader's commitment to bold and sound policies for the country's economy, like fuel subsidy removal, and pledged that the bank will strongly support Tinubu's vision for the Nigerian economy.
And I think the whole issue of correcting the exchange rate distortions that Nigeria has will also free up the access to Forex and also make Nigeria's currency much more competitive in terms of export competitiveness for the things that we produce. All those are right signals that the president is sending, which investors like, with the international community likes, which will also attract significant amount of investment into Nigeria. I discussed with His Excellency the President about a couple of things. First, of course, is agriculture, to see what we can do to support the government with regard to the Mr. President's vision in agriculture. We discussed about special agro-industrial processing zones, for which we already have about $520 million for Nigeria, and how we are going to make sure that that project actually gets accelerated to give quick wins to the president.
Dr. Adesina also revealed that the power sector was another issue he discussed with President Tinubu, how the bank intends to bring support to Tinubu's effort, his vision, and that of his government with regards to access to electricity. He pointed out that President Tinubu wants to ensure that there is access to electricity in Nigeria, and therefore he talked to the bank about how they can support him, and he gave him the assurance that the bank will significantly support the power sector in Nigeria.
We discussed about the youth. I've heard him speak quite a lot about young people, his heart for young people, and what he wants to do to support them. And he asked for our support with regard to what we can do for Nigeria on that. And I explained to the president that we will support with the establishment of youth entrepreneurship investment banks in Nigeria. These are going to be new financial institutions that will support the access to financing at scale, both whether it is in terms of debt or equity financing for businesses of young people in Nigeria. He has a desire to grow the wealth for young people, which is actually very good.
President Tinubu assured Adesina that the federal government will continue to provide necessary support for the bank's projects and operations in the country. Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
For more on business, let's join Benny Adams on Business News. Hello, Benny.
Thank you, Jumai. I'm still talking the economy. The Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, says it has intensified efforts at connecting farm to industry and industry to market for the growth of MSMEs in Nigeria.
If you are into coconut oil production, I can tell you that somebody bring coconut to Abuja. You don't have to go to Badagry. If you are into yam flour production, you don't need to go to Benue to go and buy yam. There is somebody in Abuja where you can outsource at cheaper rate, but you may not know that. So based on that linkage program, we will be able to now matchmake you. But what we have been doing is to have proper clean-up data so that when we are matchmaking A with B, we know what we are doing. So that you can identify a market near you, you can source your raw materials near you, and it will reduce the cost of investment for you to source where there is no direct linkage.
And the European Commission is putting forward 2 proposals within a single currency package to ensure that individuals and businesses can continue to access and pay with Euro bank notes and coins across the Euro area, and to set out a framework for a possible new digital form of the Euro that European Central Bank could choose to issue in the future as a complement to cash. The package will ensure that people and businesses have an additional choice in addition to current private options that allows them to pay digitally with a widely accepted, cheap, secure and resilient form of public money in the Euro area. It also includes a legislative proposal on the legal tender of Euro cash to safeguard the role of cash, ensure it is widely accepted as a means of payment. Taking a look at the oil market, oil prices fell on Thursday, pairing some of the previous day's gains as investors took profits to concerns of further interest rate hikes, dampening economic growth and global fuel demand, while weak economic data in China also weighed on sentiment. Brent crude futures declined 26 cents to $73.77 a barrel in early trade, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures slipped 22 cents to $69.34 a barrel. Both benchmarks climbed about 3% on Wednesday after the U.S. Energy Information Administration says crude inventories dropped by 9.6 million barrels in the week ended June 23rd, far exceeding the 1.8 million barrel draw analysts had forecast in Reuters poll. Well, that is business news. Network news continues with Jumai. Jumai, it's nice doing business with you.
The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has engaged stakeholders towards effective operation of Petroleum Industry Act 2021, mandating the establishment of Host Communities Development Trust. The program, which held in Akure, Ondo State, focuses on the implementation of the program, roles and responsibilities of every stakeholder. Abiola Ario reports.
Through significant changes to the legal and governance framework, as well as host community engagement in the oil and gas industry, a section of the Act focuses on community drive and provides for the establishment of Host Community Development Trust, which is to increase social spending by oil and gas companies in host communities. This is why the Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission facilitated a sensitization stakeholders forum with the host communities in riverine areas of Ondo State to brainstorm on their roles and responsibilities as well as the benefits therein.
We are giving them the money, which is 3% of the OPEX is going back to the community. The settlers, which are the companies, are meant now to stay back. The fund are meant to be administered by them. We are only meant to be there to make sure that they do exactly what they are meant to do.
Having provided these resources, government is expecting that it will be utilized to bring development to the host communities.
Those stakeholders are optimistic that if the Petroleum Industry Act 2021 is fully implemented, peace, harmony, and meaningful development would be achieved in host communities.
I see this PIA as a step in the right direction. If it is fully implemented and every party has compared to play their role.
The Host Community Development Trust Sensitization Forum tends to provide members with thorough understanding of the Community Development Trust and establish dynamic relationship between regulators, settlers, and host communities. In Akure, Abiola Rio, NTA News.
It's time to join Michael in our Lagos studio for more on NTA Network News. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Jumai. Africa's attainment of food security and sufficiency can only be achieved through a decisive action plan that can surmount the challenges of desertification and land degradation threatening the ecosystem. This is the consensus at the ongoing annual partnership conference of the African Forest Landscape Restoration Initiative, AFR 100. Joe Popola has the reports.
With the theme attracting investment in Africa and internationally for scaling up smallholder farmers' access to financing, the 7th series of the AUDA-NEPAD annual partnership meeting is geared towards combating the menace of desertification and other impediments to food sufficiency. Representatives of more than 20 countries and foreign development partners who are harmonizing their ideas on how to restore the ecosystem agree that all hands must be on deck to put Africa at an advantage position globally in terms of investment.
African Forest Land Restoration, Landscape Restoration Initiative and the innovative strength of smallholder farmers is African Union resolution to restore our land for healthy living, for food security, and to improve nutrition, as well as grow our economy, create jobs, consolidate the gains of the SDGs.
Every year we select more than 100 young men and women, African women, as long as they are land entrepreneurs, that they can make the land productive.
Representative of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation described the initiative as timely.
This is a very, very sober moment for us to reflect on what looking for resources to build wealth.
The event also featured the official launch of the AFR 100 website, with a partnership of 34 African countries seeking to restore over 100 million hectares of land by year 2030. No doubt Africa's quest for food sufficiency and food security will be guaranteed if stakeholders agree to implement decisions reached at this forum. The participating countries pledged commitment to recovering land in Africa from the shackles of desertification. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
After 5 years of research and development in its skincare laboratory, Nivea has unveiled 2 products range suitable for skin type that are rich in melanin. They are Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care and Nivea Radiant and Beauty Even Glow. Amaka O captured the historic product launch in Lagos and now reports.
Radiant and Beauty Even Glow, enriched with 95% pure vitamin C.
For Beiersdorf, manufacturers of Nivea, research remains the bedrock on which it embarks on discovery of its market segment. For a company in existence for over 150 years and leading globally in skincare solutions, Nivea Advanced Care and Nivea Even Glow are products with maximum benefits.
Maybe after childbirth, pregnancy, or weight loss, the treatment that comes with it, this product can actually reduce the appearance of it in 2 weeks. We are not just making a claim that is bogus. We are putting our name on it with a timeline.
We are presenting to you a product that has been infused with 5 essential oils, clearly called out, and 5 skin vitamins. I don't think at this point there is any other product that delivers beyond the efficacy that this product does.
The company says the products are sold at 3,500 naira each and can be found in over 40,000 outlets across Nigeria.
If you take Advanced Care and Even Glow, these 2 products are unique in the sense they are made for the melanin-rich, African.
And then we have an army of people out there whose job is to ensure we check the shelves and verify the product to ensure that products that are in outlets that the sales team are driving are also directly from Nivea.
Nivea brand ambassadors were present at the launch of the products.
I genuinely use Nivea. I have stretch marks from having a baby, and it has drastically reduced.
With over 70 various products manufactured by the company, Nivea's enriching skin products continue to inspire trust and confidence among its target markets. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
Remember that you can still follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other verified social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages. The news will be back shortly. Please stay.
Thanks for joining us. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Plateau State Command has arrested more than 650 suspects with over 600 kilograms of illicit drugs seized in the last 6 months. The state commander of the agency, Umar Mustafa Yahuza, disclosed this while reviewing their mid-year activities in the state. Bilkisu Nuhu reports.
Giving a scorecard of successes recorded in the state from January to date, the command seized more than 500 kilograms of cannabis sativa, 15 kilograms of various types of psychotropic substances, 12 kilograms and 2 grams of cocaine and heroin were among the seizures made within the period. This was achieved with the collaboration of major stakeholders in the state to rid it of drug users and peddlers.
Special thanks goes to His Majesty, the Bongom of Jos, and other traditional institutions in Plateau State. They have been supportive, they have been assisting, especially in the area of public enlightenment.
The commander wants that the command is leaving no stone unturned at ensuring those engaged in these nefarious activities are brought to book.
NDLA will remain resolute and ensure, under the Chairman Chief Executive of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Mohammed Bubu Marwa, we are untiring to ensure that drug dealers are brought to book. Secondly, the message I have for the drug dependent persons is to look for care. They should seek for help, they should quit the act, and NDLA is ready to support them along with other stakeholders.
NDLEA says it is sustaining war against drug abuse, treatment and rehabilitation of suspects, as well as counseling. In Jos, Bilkisu Nuhu, NTA News.
Now, the Federal Road Safety Corps Marshal Dauda Alibiu has cautioned drivers against negligence and noted the need for drivers to ensure routine maintenance of their vehicles as at when due. The Corps Marshal gave the advice while reacting to the unfortunate fatal crash that occurred at Benin, Edo State, involving 19 people. Assistant Corps Marshal Corps spokesperson BC Kazim says to avert unwarranted road traffic crashes that could lead to loss of human lives and damage to properties, car owners should ensure that their cars are roadworthy. This is as the Corps launched investigation into the multiple crashes that occurred as a result of brake failure, which resulted in loss of control and lives. Now, Governor Peter Mba has assured the people of Enugu State of his determination to pursue policies that will improve the well-being of the people. This was the thrust of his message to the Muslim community in commemoration of the Eid al-Kabir celebration.
Governor Peter Mba, who visited the Muslim community at the Islamic Center Uwani and Owerri Road Central Mosque to felicitate with them, identified Enugu State as one of the cosmopolitan states in the country which accommodates people irrespective of their tribe, religion, and culture. He described the Muslim in the state as an integral part of the state and further called for their continued support in transforming Enugu State.
The relationship you had with my predecessor, not only that we're going to sustain it, but we're going to build on it. We're going to consolidate it. We're all going to be working together. We're going to identify some of you that will be part of the government so that you take ownership of what we're doing.
Muslim Ummah were excited with the presence of the governor, whom they said has provided dividends of good governance.
They are all Igbos because we are born here and we will be buried here. we don't have any other home. Enugu State is our home.
I know that you have started the government of Enugu State in a good note, working around the clock to make sure that we have security, we have employment.
There were special prayers for leaders in the state and country at large. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
Still on the Eid al-Kabir celebration, troops across all theaters of military operations in the country have been urged to leverage on the spirituality of Eid al-Kabir to pray for Nigeria as they continue to combat security challenges confronting the nation. This came to the fore during the 2023 maiden Salah luncheon for new service chiefs with troops of Operation Hiding Kai. Borno State Governor Babagana Umar Zulum was in attendance. Zainab Adam reports.
The Salah luncheon is an annual occasion to raise troops' morale in their operation and salute their doggedness while interacting and feasting with commanders and other senior officers. This year's celebration became symbolic as the theater continues to witness massive surrendering of insurgents, with more than 100,000 on record and counting. To this effect, the Chief of Army Staff Major General Taurid Lagbaja, Chief of Air Staff Air Vice Marshal Hassan Abubakar, and other principal officers stressed commitment to better the welfare of troops and enhance working synergy for successful outcomes.
I have no doubt about the zeal and commitment of our troops in working with our sister services and other security agencies of government to ensure our collective success.
It's noteworthy that these successes in air and ground operations would not have been possible without your sacrifices, selflessness, and devotion.
This development that we are talking about in Nigeria can never be feasible without enabling environment. And therefore we shall work together, inshallah. The rest assured of my continued support.
Governor Zulum donated 10 million naira to the wounded soldiers for their gallantry in the service to their nation. In Maiduguri, Zainab Adam, NTA News.
NTA Network News, we'll be right back. Do stay. You're welcome back. Next is Sports Update with Ayodeji Makinde as our guide.
Super Falcons commenced training in Abuja Thursday ahead of FIFA Women's World Cup from July 20 to August 20 in Australia and New Zealand, as the Nigeria Football Federation and coach Randy Waldrum round off the first phase of preparation in the country before the final phase in Australia. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, will lead others to ascend forth for the team in Abuja on Sunday before their departure to the tournament, where they have been drawn in Group B alongside Australia, Canada, and Republic of Ireland. The Nigeria Football Federation has mandated Premier League teams to commence club licensing processes for the 2023-2024 season, set to kick off weekend of August 26 to 27, and invited clubs that will represent the country in CAF club tournaments to commence their procedures with the NFF in line with CAF club licensing regulations 2022. League champions Ayimba are in the CAF Champions League alongside Remo Stars, while Rivers United are joined by Federation Cup champions Bendel Insurance in the CAF Confederation Cup ahead of the MPFL transfer window, which opens July 1 and closes on September 1. In the meantime, the draws for round of 32 fixtures of the ongoing Bayelsa State Governors Football Tournament tagged Prosperity Cup have been concluded. The opening fixtures of the round will see Apret FC face off with last year's finalists Odioma United, while former Ogbia champions Movers FC square off with Moses FC of Sangana. Elsewhere, NUJ FC welcomes Ikolo FC, and Bayelsa United feeders at the Samson Siasia Stadium face Ayamalem FC on Saturday. Elsewhere, ahead of the 2023 FIBA African qualifiers, Nigeria basketball team D Tigers on Thursday departed Lagos for Abidjan. The qualifiers ran from June 30 to July 2, with D Tigers facing Guinea in their opening game on Friday, Benin Republic on Saturday, before the tip-off against Cote d'Ivoire in the final game on Sunday. The winner of the qualifiers this weekend will join Kenya and Gabon in Group A of the 2023 FIBA AfroCan, taking place in Angola from July 8 to 16. With sports updates, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
The NTA family mourns as the remains of Group Captain Ahmed Tijani, father to NTA newscaster and defense correspondent Naja'atu Tijani, has been laid to rest in Kano. Aminu Umar reports that the chief imam of Tudun Wada, Imam Nura Imam, led the funeral prayer attended by family, friends and associates of the deceased.
Prior to the funeral prayer, the body of the deceased was received at the residence of Damasanin Tudunwada Yusuf Yunusa for the family members to pay their last respect. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. After the funeral prayer attended by the family members, friends and associates, the deceased was taken to Abuja burial ground where he was buried in accordance with the Islamic rites. Late Ahmed Tijani will be missed for what family members described as his cordial relationship with whoever he comes across.
Well, it was very cordial, as far as I'm concerned. Very cordial. They were friendly and outspoken to each other.
So she's very good to us, she's very good to our family and all other related officers. So she's very nice to them, even his colleagues. So they are really respecting him. That respect is come from the respect he's respecting them.
A retired group captain in the Nigerian Air Force left behind a wife and 6 children, among them Naja'atu Tijani of NTA. Aminu Umar, NTA News.
That's NTA Network News. Thanks for watching. I am Jummai Yusuf.